Welcome Brawlers, I'm the Hermit and it's time to go wide or go home. Because our commander today is Vondam the Lucent. For 2 a white and double black, we get a legendary human knight for 4, death touch and lifelink. Whenever Vondam enters or attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain death touch until end of turn. So in order to make the most of the +1/+0, we're gonna be playing token makers. We have Ocelot Pride, Clarion Spirit. If we cast 2 spells a turn, we get a 1/1 Spirit Flying. Raise the Alarm, Resolute Reinforcements, Turbo Exhibition, and for continuous token making, we have Scrap Skype, Bitter Blossom, Cosmogran Zenith from Age of Eternities, MTGA Acolyte, which also allows us to draw cards if we deal damage to our opponents. And at the end step, if we remove a spell or we lost a creature, we get a 2/2 robot token. We also have Lingering Souls, Battle Screech, for even more flyer tokens. Days of the Ghost Council from Alchemy. She essentially makes a spirit each turn, and every subsequent turn we're gonna be getting another spirit, and all of our spirits are gonna be getting bigger and bigger, at least their attack. I already mentioned Elegy Acolyte, but we also have Timna the Weaver and Gigs as a way to draw cards from hitting our opponent constantly. We also have Black Market Connections and Pitcher of the Schism. The Preacher is gonna be drawing us cards only if we're at higher life than our opponents, and otherwise it's gonna be making a 1/1 with lifelink. We have Wedding Announcement. And for protection, we have Boromir, Bulwark Ox, that protects the creatures with counters, but usually we can saddle and put a +1/+1 counter on one of our creatures each turn. We have Dawn of a New Age. It draws cards at the beginning of the end step, and it stays as long as we have as many turns as we have creatures whenever we play it. Since Mobilize is gonna be a little bit of a synergy with Vondam, we have Voice of Victory and Waystone Guidance. We have Dollmaker Shop. We get a toy whenever we attack, and we're also gonna be playing the only token doubler in this deck is Elspeth Stormslayer. And she's gonna be here because she also gives our creatures a +1/+1 counter, as well as flying for a turn cycle, so that usually gets us to the finish line. We have Drana, Liberator of Malakir, First Strike, and in the case of Stalker are really good with Death Touch from Vondam, because that means our opponent's not gonna be blocking as much. And in the case of Drana, since she has First Strike, if she deals damage to our opponent, then she's gonna put a counter on each other attacking creature we control. So that's usually most of them that don't have First Strike, they get to deal even more damage. So that's the deck. Now let's head into the queue and hope it's our opponents who are gonna go home. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying the uncommon commanders for the set. I didn't expect them to be as fun as they are, but I think part of it is the fact that since they are lower powered, they're gonna be getting lower pairings in the matchmaker, and that also means that we get to explore a little bit some lesser player cards. Here we go against Teysa. We have her in the deck, but now we're gonna be facing against her. And probably because Matchmaker sees that we both are about same things, and that is getting cards. Also, Ocelot Pride, if we get to Ascend, that's a really nice synergy with Waystone Guidance. We get the tokens with Mobilize, but if we copy them at the end step with the Ocelot Pride, then that means we don't have to sacrifice them to Mobilize. Opponent is keeping priority. I get Godless Shrine, play the Guidance. And we are at speed 2. I think we're gonna play Ocelot Pride later. Mostly so we can curve Waystone Guidance into Preacher and have the Ocelot Pride have Mobilize too. I think this might be a removal spell, which also we will need that removal spell because the way this works is pretty much like Carlo, but I don't know if... No, Obsedat from paper. So she enters, and then at the beginning of the end step, she goes away, which means he can re-enter and re-trigger. That's what she wants to do. Here we're gonna get... Okay, we're gonna get removed. Take the action. So let's get Ocelot Pride. Our opponent sends Teysa away, that means we're gonna get full rain to... for a great swing with the Pride. We're gonna get the Series Blessing already. And because of Sir Vondam, that means we're gonna be hitting for a great deal of damage. Not quite enough, because Sir Vondam is not gonna be attacking. Keep Trana then. Yeah, if Sir Vondam attacks, then we get the Mobilized triggers first, and then we get the buff from Sir Vondam. But still, this should be painful for our opponent. Also, the turn they decide to keep Teysa, she's also a spirit, so she's gonna get the buff from all her intensity. And see, we get to make those tokens, copy with Ocelot Pride, and we keep them all. Well, we keep the new ones, we lose the ones that came into play during combat. Caretaker's Talent, that's gonna copy their spirit, or they're gonna make more spirits. And they're gonna remove Serve on them, it looks like. Guess I didn't play Raise the Alarm. I held up mana that turn, but I forgot to play it. Yeah, because I got that land. Yeah, I think this might be lethal. Let's see. And okay, that's the right order. And again, because of Waystone Guidance, they get another buff, all of our tokens. And the GG's. No matter how they block, if we only need 5 tokens to go through. They only had 2 blockers. Even if they had Teysa, that was another blocker. They needed at least 5 more blockers, it seems. Yep. Good games, Teysa. Yeah, I guess they didn't play too much really that affected the board. They played essentially, they skipped that turn in order to play Chromatic Lantern. And they didn't play anything for turn 1 or 2. We are against Urani of the Unwritten. So unfortunately, even though we are somewhat fast, we're not too fast in order to prevent our opponent to getting to Urani. So that means they're gonna get 1 or maybe 2 free dragons out of it. So let's see if we can go white though. And we have enough pressure in order to beat them, even through their big dragons. Okay, Surveil is good start. Maybe they have a Mox. They could have the Mox Jasper, I think is the one from for the dragons. Or even Chrome Mox, Mox Amber. Okay, we cannot remove that. Kind of was counting on Fatal pushing something. But I guess we will make tokens, although since it may have damage various board wipes, maybe I needed to hold on to that. Playing at instant speed, but at least this just passes the priority to our opponent. Okay, it was Chromox after all. I think they were trying to figure out what to exile. They get Orzhov Incubator on Dragon, so that means, yep, they have enough mana for any next turn. Yeah, they were faster than I expected them. Depending on which dragon they get for free, that might be what makes or breaks this game. Ooh. Yeah, I think we might be losing. Tough break. Okay, opponent goes to 17. We will draw another card. Yeah, we didn't need start your engines here. We needed either removal for your any, removal for the. I guess the incubator is secondary. But now I don't think we win here. Yeah, I guess also one of their better ways to construct Urani is by having ramp that depends on lands, or in this case, against us it was better their ramp was artifact based and not creature based, because we could fatal push. Even if they played Voice of Gaia, what's her name? She makes 2 mana and she untaps herself. Ooh, Old Newborn. Yeah, and I guess we lose. We will fetch shock. We'll combat and yep. I mean, I guess we could at attack with Cecil and lose that way. Ooh, 4. Yeah, even if we attack with Cecil, we would lose either way. So, good games. Yeah, kind of one of the rare instances when we lose against Tyranny. And I gotta say, honestly, losing against Tyranny is not the worst feeling, I think. At least it wasn't against Landfall. Because against Landfall, usually, just the dread that we're gonna lose sets in earlier. With Tyranny, you feel like you still have a chance. So against Pantlasam, unfavored. We're gonna keep because we have Bitter Blossom and Rite of Oblivion. So this should be fun. Maybe we play Swarm Saboteur. Now we have Bitter Blossom, then Black Market Connections, and then we can essentially do whatever we want. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna ninjutsu the Saboteur. So Pantlasa is gonna get to 5 mana so they can get their commander. And once they do, they can get they discover, which means they get a spell for free whenever they get one of their dinosaurs into play. But only once each turn. Here we're gonna draw and treasure. Yes, we can Invasion, we can Teysa. We are gonna Rite of Oblivion Pantlasa next turn, so let's think this one. Okay, I like playing Drana and Invasion of Gobakan, so let's go for that. Opponent has Path to Exile or Sword to Plowshare. Maybe Lightning Bolt. Okay, it was Swords. Savage Stomp. So we know they have the Stomp, they have Stompry. And they get Kinjali Sunwing. That was unnecessary, opponent. Let's make a treasure. So we wanna take 3 more damage. As we kinda do, we can use sacrifice Black Market Connections to our Rite of Oblivion. Take action, we get Teysa, we're gonna be getting bigger and bigger spirits. Trumpeting Carnosaur. And they're gonna ambush something. Yeah, at least their fight spells are on nicking tokens. And we have more from where they came from. Yeah, Link Songwin is really annoying. I think we're gonna lose because of the Sunwing. Yeah, even if we play a blocker, this is not enough. So good games. Yeah, and if we didn't kill Pantlasins, if instead we removed the Sunwing, opponent would have gotten even more value out of their commander, so we were against a rock and a hard place, after all. And now it's Dion Bahamut's dominant. Probably another go wide deck like us. So let's see if we can go wider than them. Dion also gives knights flying during their turn. For Sentinel, not exactly. Knight. You sure, opponent? We're gonna ambush the Esper Sentinel. We're just gonna double block just in case they have removal. And Benalish Knight Counselor. Force of Silence on Sir Vondam, of course. Clarion Spirit from us, and we need our second land, our third land, I think. Hopefully a black source. With Orchid Phantom, that's not too bothersome. Well, the Profane. Alright. Should we destroy our opponent's boards? Or I think we play Drana. She has first strike and she's at 2-3, so she can block either of these guys. Okay, so they remove her. We get Hazda Marshall. Adeline from opponent. Here we're gonna... yeah, I guess I needed to think about the mana. Alright, I got black because I wanted to play Drana. Right. It checks out. Let's play Wedding Announcement then. What is this? Carcenar del Pale. Vista. We're gonna kill Adeline. And maybe Dion as well. Guess if they get another line, they're gonna beat us here. Yep. Okay. Good games. Yeah, they had flying, so That's really what pushes tip the scale in their favor. Also, obviously, the fact that we got mana screwed happens. Much to say there. Kefka, Court Mage. I think we should be okay in this match. I mean, being on the play would be ideal, but still. Okay, this is a hand we can cook with. I think we're gonna play Geeks next turn. Is that a commander from opponent? Maybe solo ulti. Pact of Negation could also be it. But opponent does here. Kefka? Okay. Kind of unfortunate. We're gonna send Shadow Summoning, I think. Let's look at opponent's hand here. So double wrath. Okay. Act of Negation is gonna go away. Let's make a spectacle of destruction. Attack our opponent. Let's send exact invasion. And this might not be the smartest. But we definitely need either removal for Kefka or a way to force our opponent to play their rats. Roxanne, we will send Diesel Harpy. At least we have our card advantage in the spectacle here. Okay, that's not what we wanted to see. Monument of Endurance. 2 Endurance. Yeah, I think we're gonna be losing another one. Ocean Thief. Okay. We might be persevering after all. Oops. I forgot about the +1/+0, so and because these are two separate mobilized triggers, we get to counter some Spectacle of Destruction. Now also we are empty-handed, so there's not much value from Kefka. So we might have a chance yet. And also they discarded both of their rats. Yeah, I like our position. Maybe Kefka overextended. They agree they're gonna dig through time. That feels kind of desperate to me. So let's see, if they don't have anything, they're gonna be keeping Kefka on defense. I like that. Lightning Bolt. Gonna protect our Swarm Saboteur. And here we have Double Maker Shop, so I think we might win here. Opponent cannot cast spells. And we're gonna get 6 mobilized tokens. Oof, okay. What is it? What do you have? Yeah, you don't have anything. Oof. We got saved by the Porcelain Gallery. And also waste on guidance. Getting all those mobilized tokens really helped us more than I would have imagined. Good games, Kefka. You had me worried for a second. And I gotta say, getting Grixis control and beating them. And also the fact that they discarded the rats. They were also thinking they're gonna win, I think. Yeah, they think they were favored. They thought they were favored, and that's why they started discarding the rats, but they needed to keep them back because of, just in case of insurance. In case we did something like we just pulled off. Against Nissa Resurgent Animist. Okay, this isn't the fastest start in the world, but we definitely need removal for Nissa. We never want to let landfall go unchecked. And overdrive. Okay. It's 3 life. Kill the drive. Gonna place Nissan, obviously they have a fetch land. Tireless Provisioner. I think we're gonna kill the Provisioner. Now let's go for Nisa. And next turn we're gonna start going on the offensive. Oh, Renan 7.
Trees are old. Every seed contains.
And that's a Seer Escape Leveler. Concede here. Yeah, it's always... I never like playing against landfall. Like, I get it if we are playing lands for ourselves, but when you're not, it's really not fun. And also especially because against the landfalls that have card advantage, so Nisa, you get an elemental or an elf with your second land. At Tioba, you just get a card draw with every land. Against Jorion, we have a Juggernaut Peddler. Okay. Human. We need black mana for sure. Birth of Meletis, probably 2 lands. Let's take Recruiter of the Guard. Starting town. Okay, so we have black. We need another black at some point. But for now we can get by. Croft, Eidetic Memory. Duration of Evangelio. So we know opponent had 2 lands because of the Peddler. It only revealed their non-lands. And it showed everything but 2 cards, I think. Yeah, we missed a couple of turns there, so we are somewhat behind. And then gets their birth back by discarding the Juggernaut we so kindly gave them. And draws a card to trigger Rov's memory. And Battle Screech. That I'd like to see. I needed to pay attention. I wanted to Rite of Oblivion here. And that's a failure, of course. Face up from opponent. Okay, opponent's gonna gain 10 life in total. 8. What are we gonna do here? We should exile Besan no matter what. Do we want to also remove Architect? Yeah, Jorian is gonna come now. I don't think we can recover from that. Opponent has won like 12 life, I think, in the entire game. Yeah, they would be a 3 potentially. Good games, Jorian. It wasn't as bad as Nisa, for sure, but we still lost. It is what it is. Marina Vendrell, so this is gonna be about enchantments. Okay, let's try this hand. Sanctum Weaver. Yeah, and also we have gotten unlucky with our removal. We're running, I think, between 10 to 15 pieces of removal, and we either get all of them in the same hand or we get none of them. Okay, Witness Protection. And Vondam. That is weak from opponent. And ornate imitations, so they get all of that. Let's see if we can turn our luck around here. Olivia, opponent, outlaw. They care about treasures and about outlaws. Have Marinette Apprentice, Reinforcements, and Vondam. This isn't an outlaw. Billy Olivia. Yeah, they need to deal damage to us with outlaws in order to get that treasure, and then sacrifice treasures to make stuff happen to both their team, I think. Yeah, +1, 2 +1/+1 counters. But it's a sorcery speeds effect. Also, Warrior is not. I guess they are just playing Vampire Tribal. Vampire. Okay. Yeah, I can respect that. Start your engines. They're gonna take an instant. Okay, that they're gonna look at our hand. We have no instants or sorcery, so it does nothing else. Yeah, and I guess this is where we are. We are playing against Yankee tribes here. So yeah, we're happy with that, I think. I think we're gonna... Actually, we should just attack with Vondam. They need to double block if they wanna trade. Okay. We will take the trade. We get a decent trigger. So yeah, I don't think we should be too worried now that we know they are vampires. We will take it all day. Now we're gonna attack all, we're gonna get... essentially a refund on a creature. They can eat one with the socialite, but we get one back with our shop. If we get Elspeth, we're gonna keep everyone flying. Henrika Domnathi. I think they're gonna transform her. Nope, they draw a card and lose one life. Let's kill Henrika then. And I think we have the win next turn. Okay. Opponent already know about that bet. So yeah, we got the win. Our opponent didn't play too much interaction. Actually, none at all, I think. Yeah, we only traded because they blocked. So, good games. We finally got out of the loss of the funk, the slump, the loss streak. And now we have Jarok the Desecrated. And finally we get a hand where we have many tokens in the opening. Actually just 4, but we also have Juggernaut Peddler, Spectacle of Destruction, and now Rite of Oblivion. So it's all coming up. Hermit. Do you like Peddler? And Landfall, of course. Of course they had to be Landfall. We will take the Provisioner. Tioba is gonna be annoying, but she's gonna be coming in late in the game. Or well, mid-game, but later. The Provisioner. Paradise Druid. Must be nice. But I heard you like the Peddler we gave you, so... There, Juggernaut, I mean. Let's do it again. And this time we're gonna take the Tioba. Now this is bot racing, as it were. I think opponent will play their Metamorph here. Probably copying Paradise Druid. Oh, Spring Plum Druid. Okay, we didn't know about it, but it makes sense. We didn't draw land though. So let's get some virus here. Viruses? Well, just one now, but we have more incoming. Okay, Yarok. I think that we're gonna lose a Beetle for it. Yeah, and just as we got a fair fight, and well, it wasn't fair against the vampire deck, let's be honest. We were kind of favored, well, too favored against them. But what I meant to say is, just as we played that game, now we are playing a game where we are stuck on lands. Because the shuffler is strict. And here we're gonna exile Puck with Dire Tactics. At least. Okay. You're gonna get your 2 lands, opponent. Just Legion Cell. Oh. And the Ice Sweater. We are gonna get a land. Lotus Cobra and a Fetch land. Just to rub it in our faces. Jarok again. Okay. Nice joke. We get the land, but it's one of our only 2 tap lands. Now they're gonna get all their value from Jarok, and because they have such a huge mana advantage, they will be winning soon. Good game, Jarok. The shuffler just wanted you to win, so. Must feel good. I mean, it does feel good. I've been on the other side every now and then. And now against Tifa. Okay, I think Murder Rider is gonna be the carry here. We need it to be. And just a little FYI, I'm not playing Vondam because I think it's really synergistic or anything. I just because our commander is the other Vondam. So no big mystery there. Do you wanna play Tifa here, opponent? You probably should. Come on. But if we have reprieve and you don't get to play it? What if we have mana tide? Okay, there we go. That's what I call inconspicuous. I kinda wish I played Spectacle instead of Serpandam though. And Tifa meets her sweet end. In another land, we're gonna play Spectacle and the shop. Otherwise, we get Boromir. Yeah, we get Boromir. Opponent plays Mossborn Hydra. And like I said, we get Boromir. And again, 2 Okay. I think I had 36 lands, but with the MDFTs that should be around 40. 39 maybe. You have 2 tapped, 1 untapped. Yep. So we shouldn't be getting this. We shouldn't be getting mana screwed often. But alas, such is the shuffler. Opponent takes the damage. Grow their Hydra. Cameo of Bamboo Groves. Oof, oof, oof. Just crack your expedition map, opponent. I know you want to. Come on. Yeah, they can potentially go to 16 maybe. I guess they beat us if they have Entity Restoration. Because they have a creature with power 4. Bushwhack, okay. That also means you're not gonna be able to attack. Because if you do... Okay. Goodbye, Hydra. Okay, they crack their map instead of keeping it for later with Tifa. Caparity Courtyard. Good game, says opponent. Are they giving up or do they have the win? You never know against Tifa. Or against Landfall in general. Okay. Yep. They conceded. And maybe that Tifa particular wasn't as good and that's why they got better against us. And by they weren't as good, I meant their deck, not the player. The player didn't seem particularly bad. And against Landfall again. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna stick this one, we're gonna go for another one. And let's make this one count. Who will be our final boss today? Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. Okay, I like this. I'm happy with this. And this hand is actually good as well, so Chandra, they're gonna be playing, I think, either a Chandra tribal, so many planeswalkers, so she can put counters on the planeswalkers, or just mono red mid range. So we should expect a great deal of removal. See, that was a priority check for removal, I think. Not an impact. Each. So probably they have lightning bolt. They're gonna bolt geeks and get to damage on the servo. That's what I call a clean answer. Oh, now here's Warcrafting, so not quite, but they might come. At least they tapped out. Now we will see their hand. And hopefully we draw something good here. Split is good, but we need another mana though. Urabrask from opponent. And it seems like they are playing Stone Rain, so maybe they are all about that land destruction. Or maybe they just play it to be, because that's how they... that's their idea of fun. We will never know. Let's get Teysa here. I'm afraid we're gonna take the hit with Stone Rain. And also I think Teysa being 5 toughness and also only being on the bordering Horton, that's also gonna help us against their deck. Maybe they are also playing Pyromancer Kobolds, but definitely they have the big Chandra, that's why they're playing sorcery so that they can copy it with them. Maybe they also play Storm. Otherwise, why would you play Urabrask? I guess it can act as a Wrath. They play Chandra and... what else? They get Mountain Impact back. They're gonna kill the... okay, they kill the little guy. Yep, Patriot's Humiliation for Urabrask. Alright, that's the combo. They are not gonna be playing more land destruction because this only gets back a mana value or less. So that's how it goes with them. I see you, I see it. And I think we have enough mana for the City's Blessing. Let's kill Chandra here.
I am not happy right now.
Should we exile Teysa? Yeah, sure. We miss on one counter from Invasion, but we're gonna get even more spirits. This is only for creatures, so we're gonna lose a land if our opponent chooses to go that route. Or they probably will not, because we have a decent board. Oh, let's see what they play. I guess they can play also Anger of the Gods type cards because they can replay them with Chandra. They do in fact Stone Rain. And Ocelot Pride is gonna go away. Cosmogrand Zenith. And it seems like we might have this one. And it's gonna be all on the back of Teysa, if I'm being honest. Just look at how big the spirits are now. Yeah, I guess this is probably gonna be it for today's video. And as always, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and maybe let me know if you wanna see a particular commander, because I think Well, there are probably around 7 or 10. I don't remember exactly how many from each of Eternities, but I have also a couple of decks that are gonna be improved from with the set. But if you wanna see something from earlier, as always, or yeah, from previous sets,
Listen, pal, I'm
be
with
sure
you
to leave a
too much,
comment.
so you might as well give up already.
And here opponent gets Chandra, Dress to Kill, and Goldspan Dragon. Yeah, that's not gonna save you here, opponent. Okay, they concede. Good game, and like I said, I will see you on the next one, and goodbye.